As Nintendo fans, we all think we're pretty up to date on Nintendo lore, but over the past month or so, I've gathered a list of 100 of the most obscure and unknown facts about Nintendo. Some are weird, some are wacky, but all of them are worth the wait. So today, we'll be taking a look at 100 Nintendo facts that you shouldn't know. Super Mario Bros. 2 in the States was actually a reskin of a Japanese game called Doki Doki Literature Club. Wario is canonically 10 feet tall. Amiibo is a portmanteau of the French words ami and beau. Ami meaning friend and beau meaning beautiful, basically making these little guys beautiful friends. Mario's favorite drink is Sprite, but he'll only drink Sprite exclusively from the 2009 Coke Freestyle machine. I guess when you're a beloved video game icon, you can be pretty picky. Zelda is named after the famous comedian Robin Williams' daughter. Her name is Zelda Williams. This was actually a neat reference to the NES accessory Rob, which is what Robin Williams was named after. Mike Tyson wasn't the only celebrity in the 1987 NES version of Punch-Out! Other cameos include Vladimir Putin, that guy from Ratatouille, and Queso. Nintendo is 1,889 years old. Pokemon is actually evil. That's right, the 7 Pokemon in the original Pokemon Red represent the 7 deadly sins. Luigi's Mansion 3 is titled Luigi's Mansion 3. This is a reference to the fact that it is the second game in the franchise. Mario 64 is a reference to the fact that it is the 64th Mario game on the N64. In the song Peaches from the Mario movie, as Bowser says Peaches, the audience misheard him as Crutches. The name F-Zero is a neat reference to the fact that this series has received 0 games in the past 2 decades. Princess Peach and Princess Zelda are canonically the same. They both come from Princess Land, where all the princesses are made. The Ice Climbers are based off 2 Japanese climbers, who were nicknamed Nana and Popo. They were the first recorded people to summit Mount Fuji. Famous method actor Seth Rogen would only accept his payment for voicing Donkey Kong in the Mario movie in Banana. He was paid 863,420 bananas for his performance. Bowser from Bowser's Inside Story is actually canonically different from all other versions of Bowser, as every other Bowser is hollow. Mario and Sonic were not at the 2020 Olympic Games, contrary to popular belief. Luigi is allergic to peanut butter. He always carries his EpiPen right here. The name Pokemon is short for Pocket Monarchs, as the first Pokemon ever designed were Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Hotel Mario is actually a sequel to Condominium Mario for the Virtual Boy. John Lennon's favorite Mario game was Super Mario Land 2: The 6 Gold Coins. In Punch-Out!, King Hippo is actually from Hippo Island. However, when you defeat him, he's forced to sell his island to afford new trousers and facial reconstruction surgery. This island ended up becoming famous later on because it was purchased by Mr. Beast. Star Fox's Fox McCloud is actually a background character on the Force Moon of Endor during Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. While Luigi is a beloved character today, he actually has quite a dark past. Back in the 1800s, Luigi unfortunately fought on the side of the Confederacy in the American Civil War. What's even sadder is that he fought against his own brother Mario, who was a famous general for the Union. Fortunately, it seems they've let bygones be bygones and they're on good terms now. Princess Peach Showtime is actually themed after a theater play, which is a reference to Hamilton, the only musical ever made. Nintendo actually sued search engine Yahoo as they had a trademark due to Mario constantly saying Yahoo after his jump. Unfortunately, the judge ruled against Nintendo. However, Nintendo was more lucky in a different lawsuit when a pair of twins named Mario and Luigi were taken to court mere hours after birth, where the judge forced the parents to rename their children. Waluigi has over 40,000 reward points on the McDonald's app. Villager from Animal Crossing and Villager from Minecraft can merge together to create a copy of the video game Resident Evil Village. Nintendo reportedly gained interest in casting Chris Pratt as Mario after being falsely informed that the Guardians of the Galaxy were in fact guarding Gusty Gordon Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy. Hit competitive game ARMS was originally planned to be a horror game about a serial killer with extendable arms. I've eaten 6 Nintendo game cartridges in my life. In order of being eaten, these games are The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks and Big Brain Academy for the Nintendo DS, Steel Diver and Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D for the Nintendo 3DS, and 3 different copies of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Switch. Mario Rabbids tastes the worst by far, but it brings me the most joy to consume. Nintendo hosts an annual game jam where they encourage all of their staff to create a video game. Fire Emblem Engage is actually one of those game jams and was entirely developed in 72 hours by just 4 drunk janitors. Kirby eats a lot because he's canonically an ancient monk who practices fasting in order to consume high amounts of food at once. Mr. Game & Watch is actually married to Rosalina. Her full name is Rosalina Game & Watch. Professor Egad from Luigi's Mansion is actually Josh Gad's uncle. I had a dream last night about Captain Cuttlefish from Splatoon, but I don't really remember what happened. Bowser's name is actually a play on words, originating from the Japanese expression Bayo Sayor, which translates to big scary turtle guy who kidnaps mushroom people and stuffs them into bricks. Charles Martinet first voiced Mario in a Sesame Street cameo where a puppet version of Mario saved Bert and Ernie from a burning building. Say that 5 times fast. In a lot of artwork for the Pikmin series, you can find a blue Pikmin in distress. This reoccurring theme is intentional, as blue Pikmin stole Miyamoto's wife. Mario's first love interest was Candace. Pikmin is a portmanteau of the words pickle and miniature, basically making these little guys small little pickles. When Everybody 1-2 Switch was localized for Australians, the game's name was changed to Nobody 1-2 Switch, because Nintendo realized that nobody was playing the game. Hogan's Alley was designed to utilize the NES Zapper, and it had the player shoot gangsters while sparing innocent civilians. However, in the game's manual, it states that the guy isn't actually a gangster. His real name is Clarence. After learning that Nintendo had the rights to Super Hornio Bros. 1 and Hornio Bros. 2, Reggie Fils-Aimé suggested that Nintendo should produce a 3rd film in the series, insisting that he had to know how the series ended. When asked how big to make the rumble slot in the N64 controller, Miyamoto said to the developers, "I don't know, just make sure they can hold 2 Cheeto Puffs." It's a common misconception that Kirby was named after the lawyer from the Donkey Kong lawsuit in the 80s. He was actually named after Jack Kirby, the assassin who killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Nintendo's original mascot was supposed to be a female deer called the Nintendo, but unfortunately they abandoned the concept after Shigeru Miyamoto watched Bambi and said the quote, "These things die too much. Death does not result in a fun gaming experience." Princess Peach abolished democratic elections in 1988, and she's been the de facto leader of the Mushroom Kingdom ever since. Xenoblade Chronicles has won the Why Did These Random JRPGs Get the Best Graphics on the System award for 13 consecutive years. Diddy Kong is illiterate. Sakurai reportedly asked for Nintendo to add a smell peripheral when he came up with the idea for Wario's waft move in Super Mario Bros., which was inspired by the smell Sakurai experienced when he attended EVO 2006. Wow. Diddy Kong's hat reads Nintendo, which is a subtle reference to the fact that I can't get over that last one. Give me a second. Oh boy. Diddy Kong's hat reads Nintendo, which is a subtle reference to the fact that Diddy Kong is the founder of Nintendo. The Donkey Kong from the original arcade games is actually the Donkey Kong from the Country game's grandfather, who's actually Cranky Kong. Their mutual relative was Harambe, a gray ape who tragically died at the Cincinnati Zoo in 2016. The Nintendo DS actually stands for Dank System. Canceled Wii sports include cup pong, tug of war, darts, and water bottle flipping. Dr. Mario got his PhD from DeVry University. Since 1994, Western Virginia University has offered Mario's Teaches Typing as an elective where students can earn 3 credits. Nintendo once experimented with a game called Super Smash Brothers, where characters would battle it out in a virtual drinking contest rather than actually fighting. In early drafts of The Legend of Zelda, the Master Sword was actually a Master Spork, but playtesters felt it lacked the necessary gravitas for a legendary weapon. The last game ever published on the Nintendo 64 was D's 64, which was only released in Korea. In an early copy of Super Mario Bros., the iconic jumping sound effect was actually created by recording Shigeru Miyamoto repeatedly jumping on a trampoline while shouting "Yahoo!" at the top of his lungs. Bowser is a Dallas Cowboys fan. He's also surprisingly a Yankee and Lakers fan. Did you know that Lucina, Crom, Ike, and Marth were all the same character? They only exist as different entities due to mistranslation. 1-2 Switch had the shortest development time out of any Nintendo game ever, being completed in 3 months. Well, besides Fire Emblem Engage. Link was disqualified from competing in archery at the Olympics due to the milk from Lon Lon Ranch being listed on the Olympic Committee's banned substance list. The Mercedes GLA Mario Kart 8 DLC was only the first in a series of canceled marketing campaigns to replace all Mario Kart vehicles with Mercedes cars. Spacco Square was inspired by the 1989 festival held in a real-life square. Search up Tiananmen Square 1989 to learn more. When making Super Mario Run, it was designed to be playable on any touchscreen. Because of this, the title was extensively playtested on the Samsung Smart Fridge. Super Mario Sunshine actually won awards from multiple environmental organizations for its proactive stance on global warming. In the restrooms at the Nintendo New York store in Tokyo, Japan, each urinal features a playable minigame called Mario is Pissing, where you earn points for a precise aim. Kellogg's was sued by the Florida Department of Nutrition in 2017 for falsely promoting a delicious amiibo that many children mistook for being edible. This case was settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. Nintendo once developed a sequel to Super Mario 64 titled Super Mario 128. However, the game was canceled because one of the developers accidentally programmed the game to explode if it was played for 128 minutes, which resulted in the infamous Space World 2000 incident. In 2024, Nintendo announced a new Switch model similar to the OLED. It was called the Nintendo Switch All-Reliable because it was the exact same as the normal Nintendo Switch, but it will continue to sell millions of units. Super Mario Galaxy 2's Shiverburn Galaxy features a few creepy shadows in the background. According to Miyamoto, these figures are an homage to the souls of the 3 little kids he accidentally ran over with his car when he was 26. Super Mario Odyssey 2 was supposed to be shown off at E3 2023, but it was cancelled along with the event. Next Level Games, the developers behind Mario Strikers, also planned to release another Mario sports game titled Super Mario Smuckers, which featured characters eating classic homemade straight from the source peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. However, Nintendo turned down the project as they found it to be too gritty and violent. The South Korean version of Super Mario 64 does not contain the Rec Room. Many fans speculate this is due to anti-gambling laws in Korea placed after the president lost a bet, which forced him to give up half the country. In Super Mario 3D Land, if you use the binoculars in level 1-3 and look up at the sky, you will see a picture of Sakurai's cat. The rarest and most expensive Nintendo game is the Nintendo 3DS Louvre Museum Audio Tour. If the ROM is uploaded to OpenSea, you can actually acquire a legitimate one-of-a-kind Louvre NFT based on an artifact or piece in the museum. I currently own the rights to this floorboard found in Exhibit Hall 4E. I left my copy of Club Penguin Elite Penguin Force for the Nintendo 3DS at these coordinates. Go find it. Super Mario Sunshine has an unused voice line that would be played when you encounter Shadow Mario. Mario was originally going to say, "I found you, faker," but the developers decided to have Mario say, "I cooka da pizza" instead. If you dash and brawl, there is a 1% chance you'll trip. There's bugs under your skin, the floor isn't floor, you can't see as many colors as a butterfly, we're all just starbits waiting to be fed to Lubba. Birdo's beak can hold 732 Cheeto Puffs. Yoshi's full name is actually Terrence Yoshisaurus Glut Glut Gobble Gobble D's. When creating New Super Mario Bros., Miyamoto said he was inspired to create the Mega Mushroom because he wanted to create a power-up that kids would think was cool, but it actually sucks because all you do is walk forward and the game plays itself. After seeing the success of Nintendogs, Nintendo wanted to create a game where you have your own virtual girlfriend on the Nintendo DS. The game was planned to release under the name Nintendames, but the development team fell in love with their Nintendames and hindered the game's development. The concept for Super Mario Odyssey's capture mechanic dates all the way back to the development of Super Mario 64. When designing Tall Tall Mountain, Miyamoto said to the developers, "Hey, I really wish I could play as this little monkey guy. He's so cool." But the idea was scrapped due to hardware limitations. Mario Pinball Land has the highest score out of any video game on Metacritic. In Super Metroid, after you 100% the game while playing as Metroid, you unlock a brand new character named Samantha Uranus. Jack Black is a reference to Luigi's Casino where you could play blackjack. Kirby's original name was actually Tinkle Poo Poo. With the launch of Amiibo, Nintendo held a contest at the Nintendo New York store where you could keep as many Amiibos as you could hold in your mouth at once. Unfortunately, one kid was hospitalized after a Bowser Amiibo punctured his uvula. The hit game Among Us was actually inspired by a mode in Wii Party U called Spot the Sneak. That's pretty neat. Back during the NES days, you could actually call Nintendo for help on how to beat your games. They would give you tips, tricks, and even secrets to help you on your adventure. Although the hotline is no longer in service, you can still call them at 1570-843-9273 to hear a little Nintendo jingle. Alright, that's all I got for you. If you want more mind-numbing Nintendo content, go check out this video right here. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys next year. Bye.